Donald Trump has faced two major legal setbacks within 24 hours in his effort to delay or block his sentencing in the New York criminal case, where he was convicted on 34 felony counts. Both attempts have been swiftly denied, including a decision by the Manhattan Appeals Court, known formally as the Appellate Division, First Department, which denied his emergency request for a stay. The development started last Friday when Judge Juan Merchan of the New York Supreme Court, the trial-level court despite its name, rejected Trump's motion to dismiss the indictment. Trump argued that his conviction should be nullified because of his status as the presumptive president-elect. However, Judge Merchan ruled against Trump, emphasizing that the crimes, indictment, and conviction all occurred before he held any presidential office. With that decision, the judge proceeded to schedule Trump's sentencing for Friday, January 10, 2025. Judge Merchan also indicated that he would impose an unconditional discharge, meaning Trump would face no jail time or additional penalties like community service. However, the felony convictions would remain on his record. Despite this leniency, Trump sought to avoid sentencing altogether, fearing the public rebuke and potential further implications of the judge's remarks during the hearing. Trump's first legal maneuver to delay sentencing involved filing a motion with Judge Merchan, claiming that the court no longer had jurisdiction due to his presumed presidential immunity as president-elect. The judge quickly denied this argument, pointing out that the case revolved around conduct prior to Trump's presidency, and thus presidential immunity did not apply. The judge dismissed Trump's separation of powers argument and upheld the sentencing schedule. Unhappy with this decision, Trump immediately filed two legal actions, an Article 78 lawsuit and an emergency appeal. The Article 78 proceeding allowed Trump to sue Judge Merchan and Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, asserting that the judge had acted outside the scope of his authority. In parallel, Trump filed an emergency application with the Appellate Division for an immediate stay of the sentencing. The emergency request was reviewed by Justice Ellen Jesmer, who is on duty for emergency applications at the Manhattan Appellate Court. Trump's legal team, led by Todd Blanche, argued that sentencing should be delayed to protect Trump's role as president-elect. They claimed that proceeding with sentencing would violate Trump's rights and create a constitutional crisis. Opposing these arguments, Manhattan DA's office attorney Stephen Wu emphasized that there was no basis for immunity in this case. Wu highlighted that the criminal conduct, trial, and conviction all predated Trump's presidency, and there was no interference with his duties as a potential future president. Wu noted that Trump has remained active on social media and engaged in public activities, demonstrating his ability to manage his affairs despite the sentencing hearing. After hearing both sides, Justice Jesmer denied Trump's emergency stay request. However, she scheduled a full hearing before the Appellate Division's full panel for January 21, 2025, notably after the presidential inauguration. Jesmer also set deadlines for further filings, requiring the Manhattan DA to submit opposition papers by January 14, with Trump's reply due by January 21. With this ruling, Trump is now likely to face sentencing as scheduled on January 10. While his team may continue pursuing additional appeals, their chances of success appear slim. Trump could appeal to New York's highest court, the Court of Appeals, but such emergency applications are rarely granted. Even if that effort fails, Trump may attempt to escalate the matter to the U.S. Supreme Court, which would require an emergency application reviewed by Justice Sonia Sotomayor. However, given the procedural posture and the Supreme Court's prior rulings on presidential immunity, there seems to be little appetite for intervention. Trump's actions in the Stormy Daniels hush money cover-up case have been consistently deemed outside the scope of presidential immunity, and the court is unlikely to reconsider its stance at this stage. Should the Supreme Court decline to hear the case, Trump would have exhausted all options to delay sentencing. The proceedings on January 10 are thus expected to move forward, with Judge Merchan delivering the anticipated unconditional discharge while retaining the felony convictions on record. Trump's legal troubles, however, are far from over. The January 10th sentencing could set the stage for a broader appeal, where Trump may challenge the trial process and evidentiary rulings. But any such appeals will play out over months or even years, leaving Trump to face the immediate fallout of being a convicted felon while campaigning for the presidency. Observers note that Trump's legal strategies reflect his broader pattern of delay tactics aimed at postponing accountability until after potential electoral victories. Despite this approach, the judicial system has demonstrated resilience in enforcing accountability, as seen in these rapid rulings. As Trump's legal team prepares for further filings, the focus now shifts to whether higher courts will entertain his claims. If not, Trump's sentencing will proceed as planned, marking a significant milestone in this high-profile case. We will continue tracking developments as they unfold, providing updates and analysis on this fast-moving story at the intersection of law and politics.